have a question.
First of all, my English not very well. I am
Okay.
Turkish. And secondly, I want to learn. My wife is from the Bosnia. So before the 40 years, they were living together very well. They were a good relationship between the Bosnian, Serb, Croatia, or other nations. And here it was like this, I think, Macedonian and Albanian, they lived together. When did people start to hate each other?
Well, actually, I don't think that's the same case as in Bosnia. It was totally different. They still had the same language. You know, language is a very big barrier. We didn't have the same language with the Albanians. I grew up in a neighborhood where we have Gypsies and Albanians. We did live with the Gypsies, Roma. Let me not offend anybody, but I never had any friend Albanian. Never.
Because of the
and that's the
language.
70s I'm talking about.
Because of language?
Because of the language barrier.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
I shared with them the story of my father, who has 3 best friends, and one of them is Macedonian, Albanian, and Turk. So, depending on which area you live in,
Yeah.
like we have to say that my grandmother was born in Tetovo. It is the town where actually the main battles happened, and she lived there till she was 5, and then she moved here because the Albanians killed my great-grandfather, and they were forced to leave. But my grandmother always told me stories that she was friend with little Albanians, that they lived together even when they came here in Skopje, because it is. I really don't think that we didn't live together, depending on which on each individual, because I think that those diversities and maybe the hate between us started when that old country split up, because it was a time when everybody got independence, and it was a time that every country needed to make its own country, own constitution, own laws and regulations. So it was a time when I think the biggest mistakes were done, when the rights were not given to the minorities, and that's why I think that we built a wall between us, and it was a real wall that I think that by the time goes, it will be.
Yeah, well, he's young.
Will be gone. Yes, I am young.
I agree.
But-
I am young, I know. But
Yeah.
however, I have so many examples that say to me that actually people live together.
Yeah, we
no
did
matter
live together, but we didn't have
Action.
interaction.
I don't agree.
Yeah, well, listen, I grew up in China, so I don't
yes,
know.
I know. My mother grew up in China too.
Yeah, so
They were living next to each other. They shared the same house, just a wall.
I have nothing to
with
prove here. Okay?
Albanians, so
Kosovo was a problem in Yugoslavia,
yeah.
and in 1961, the Albanians even bring down a helicopter of Macedonian police. I don't know if you know that. And every 5-6 years, we had a lot of police going to Kosovo, trying to keep Kosovo inside Yugoslavia. So actually, the Albanians always wanted to separate
In Kosovo.
in Kosovo.
In Kosovo.
Yeah. The biggest problem with Macedonia is, maybe you don't know the history, but when the Turks left in the 50s and 60s from Macedonia, they were actually replaced by the Albanians from Kosovo. You know that. So you see, my opinion even today is that these people never accepted Macedonia as their own country or land or territory where they should live, contribute, interact, adapt. You know,
Not all of them.
not all of
Just
them.
those who
Yeah,
came.
there's always one good in 1,000. I'm just
Yes.
kidding with you now, you know. But listen, we grew up in Yugoslavia, different system, different country, different everything. And you know, I was the last police officer generation that finished in Yugoslavia. So, you know that the police was the law. We put people in jail without no court.
Yeah.
So, as you say, when Yugoslavia broke down, actually what was inside the people, their desires, motives, ethnicum, nationality, religion came out.
Yeah.
It was here, it was present, but it was well under pressure of the police and the fear, and it was controlled. So people had the right to express their emotions, If you remember the referendum for independence of Macedonia, Albanians didn't take part. Albanians living in Macedonia. But they actually had their own referendum of separation part of Macedonia called Ilirida. I don't know if you remember that part.
I can't
So that
remember.
was actually the trigger that the Macedonians started hating the Albanians. I'm serious. I was a young policeman, but it was one of the moments when we were like, what are they doing? Why do they want to separate? Why do they want to take a part of our land?
Yeah.
You see, there's always somebody doing something. And they were angry at us creating a constitution where they felt that they're not enough.
I don't know if that's
Constituents.
Yeah, you know, so you see,
But
it's different opinions, it's everything.
yeah, but different points of view, and both sides made mistakes.
But
So
you
we,
know, we're
I
not
really
here
think
to teach history.
Yes,
We
but
are
I
here-
don't think
I
that
just
we
said
need to go
what Rome
back.
did for me. You know,
Yeah,
I
yeah.
don't hate them as people anymore. I have still my mouth, and I fight for the truth, as my Lord is teaching me to fight against false teachings. But I will do it in a manner never to hurt the man, the people. It's ideology, it's teachings, it's politics. You know, it's outside of us anymore. You know, we are not fighting against flesh and blood. You know, this is such a good verse. You know, I'm trying to stick to it.
Strike hard.
Yeah.
And I will say this, after I guess nine different times that I've been at Rome, because I came in 2002, by the way, to this after you'd been there in 01, so we missed each other. And actually, Marina and I were rookies the same year,
Yes.
because that was my very first time at Rome, and I was scared to death. I don't mind saying, walking into the room with all these folks, and, okay, this is the most intimidating group I've ever been with. They're all so smart. I've got to really be on my game, you know. But what you just saw, by the way, was very much a part of Rome. Because a lot of people, you know, think, oh, you guys just get together and you play guitars and you hold hands and you sing Kumbaya, and that is not it at all. There's some of that going on, right? But what you just saw between these two guys happened every day at Rome, especially in the small groups. Am I right?
Yes, especially-
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.